Is just that Varus that we were talking about already, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Isaac, if we're talking about spices, Varus feels pretty vanilla.
Yeah, it absolutely does. I mean, so you blinded your top, you gave Ben counterpick on blue side, you gave double souling counterpick to BLG on blue side, something, kind of interrupting you, but I feel like he probably could have just tried to WQE, and then if you get an interruptive flash after, but either way now Shadow staying active and looking for Boal.
Yeah, Shadow wants to at least get another summoner spell up here, takes a chomp out of Boal, immediately taking a lot of turban aggro. Shadow with a late flash, what in the hell is going on? BLG just gift wrapped it! Boal gets a double kill! Have to flash, and Boal gets away with 2/3 HP.
Have we started a new minigame as to when Boal will actually flash? Because this man is not going to use that summoner spell as VKS look for a cross map. They're going to zone Elk away from as much farm as they can. They secure a plate as well.
They get the clone out of the Nico on, trying to buy a little bit of time, but no, it's VKS teaching last year's Worlds runner-up how to do a tower
the level up!
Chains of Corruption coming out now. They want a little bit more damage. Morteo's barely hanging on to life, and Desamas as well. A double kill for the Nico with the minions. And right as I spoke too soon.
The classic transitive properties, the Western reliable.
Yeah.
All right, so this is actually one of the latest grub takes I feel like we've seen at this tournament, and even throughout this year. Grubs are almost always within the first 30 seconds they spawn. You see at least one of the teams sending their jungler over to at least secure one grub. But because of the chaotic state of this game, it's 9.5 minutes in before the grubs are first taken, and it is VKS securing all three, as Trimby's in a bit of a tough spot here. The Pillar's trapping a Mega Inferno Bomb for the slam dunk. And that means Knight's getting paid on this one.
Secured an objective, and so there's no reason for BLG not to be pathing towards the Dragon to try and cross map. And ultimately, BLG just picked themselves up a free kill.
Yeah, he seemed very slow to react on that play, and maybe caught shopping a little bit there. We have seen that before, but...
But yeah, both teams, without really anything significant to play for, it's a lot of fishing. It's a lot of maybe playing for plates, maybe looking for a pick. And so I expect both teams to be kind of very respectful of one another. As I say that.
Yeah, on goes in for the Pop Blossom, and once again, it's going to be Trimby just deleted off the Rift. He tries to flash over the wall, but the follow-up damage after the Nico ulti guarantees he drops.
Up a decent amount of gold, did get a plate. That is nice, but Ben in Shadow here.
Yeah, Ben's immediately going to drop the ulti as Shadow runs through the frozen domain, throws the pillar down. Public execution from Boal, trying to play this defensively, but now with a redemption coming in, VKS, they turn it around as Desamas shows up. Shadow is forced to flash away.
Right now, though, they do have position. They know that Desamas has just used the ultimate. They know that as well, Boal doesn't really have much left to continue the fight, so they turn their attention on. And again, they brought their bot lane up, and this is a nice sign from the side of BLG as they now want to try and get Elk and On invested in a dive.
Yep, they're summoning up the Herald here immediately. Boal trying to get away. The Pop Blossom catches a Mega Inferno Bomb from downtown. Means Knight's the one taking the kill credit, and Miru and Trimby have no choice but a full retreat. The Herald's going to be driven into the tier 2, but immediately On's going to be shuffled back towards it. Has to flash away in response.
They will eventually be able to get down here and look for a dragon, but just kind of spending a lot of time there, Desamas, to not really get involved in anything.
All right, Mountain Drake at least does go the way of VKS, even if it is on a slower timer than you would hope for. 2-2 on the feet of Monster Slaying. So the next neutral objective will also determine the boots, as Miru has to use the Shifting Sands to get away from BLG, who are overloading this top side. Mega Inferno Bomb. Only the edge clips Miru, so he still survives. But the tier 2 cannot tell the same tale. As
Desamas hasn't been that active and isn't even up in farm as a result, so looking good.
Oh, Pop Blossom forces the flash out of Morteo's, but On will pay the price. VKS get a kill back. They tie it up 5-5.
But you got the flash off of Morteo's, and it is going to mean he's going to be very vulnerable.
Okay, Ben going in with the ulti here on the Jax. Killer Instinct from Elk brings him into the fight now too, with public execution defensively from Boal. Just trying to get away and buy a little bit more time, but Counter-Strike number 2 locks it up and knocks him down. Ben gets his first kill of the game.
Either your carries. This is great play from BLG, and he's going to stop his recall again.
Yeah, Miru's not even going to be able to participate in the fight at all. It's going to take him so long to get back and heal and then try to teleport in, as Knight is just trying to keep everybody on VKS away. The Otacon down to 3,000 HP. On playing defensive here with the Pop Blossom, just trying to create enough space. Thornbound Otacon secured. Boal dives into the BLG front line as they root up Bin, but they do not have the damage to try to kill him. The bouncing bomb barely missing out on Trimby as Miru's going to be the first to die. There's no way out for the Emperor. There's no way through for VKS.
And in the midst of that, they even took the bot tier 1. Now they take the mid tier 1. Now you look up, it's 4K plus Otacon pedals in the advantage here.
They were pulling most of those from the Rift.
They were doing a good job gardening.
Yes, they were doing a lot of gardening in the first 20 minutes of the game, so BLG mostly equalized in that count.
They can find any pick, any punish onto BLG, at least it'll give them something, a moment of reprieve, but no opportunity will be found. The pillar comes down.
Oh, nice pillar there from Shadow as Disamas tries to take Elk with him, but he just does not have the damage here on the Kiana.
Oh, is enough to dissuade VKS. We talked a little bit about these range opportunities on both sides, but now that the Ziggs is fully online, he's just melting anytime VKS try to approach. And again, we're seeing it here on assisting with that poke.
Samus in the pit, he wants to go in for the steal, but he does not find it. He's immediately killed by the jump from the Trundle. On is about to die, and Miru takes him out, but Boal cannot kill Elk. BLG are gonna get everybody here as Miru and Morteos cannot get away. Elk will not be found. It's a double kill for the Kaisa. It's black and white screens for everybody on VKS.
We have Bin pushing mid lane. Knight is already going to crack this tower. And will just be the inhibitor tower, not the inhibitor.
Knight's damage on turrets with this Ziggs is just disgusting.
In the river. We jump back to live.
Oh, I think it might be a repeat of that performance here for Disamas as Shadow just beats him upside the head with the bat. It's another death for the Kiana. 0-3 and 2 now. Power play for another 90 seconds. And gentlemen, they're already at plus 6,600 gold on this one. This one's looking like the end of the game as Boal cannot do anything to try to protect the tier 3 here in the bottom lane. Bin split pushing in mid lane. Top lane inhibitor is already exposed. Remember, in the bottom lane inhibitor is first to fall. The 4-man squad on BLG continues pushing bottom as Trimby's got to be careful. Shadow and a little bit of poke behind him takes Trimby down below half HP immediately. Another bouncing bomb is going to take care of the last tier 3 turret at the same time. That one's gone. Inhibitor about to follow here in mid, and now Bin, if he wants to, can just try to walk up to the top side, take out that third and final inhibitor. But with Knight and Bin right there beside Elk, it's far easier said than done. BLG looking for inhibitor 3. They will find it very, very easily. And now VKS stuck inside their base, double super minions in every lane.
Agree, and I mean also going on red side and allowing both your soul laners to get counterpicked by the blue side team, to me is just like, that is kind of asking for it, right? Like, you know, when you are the heavy underdogs, you need to be able to be aggressive. You need to be able to get advantageous matchup, push the pace. Trimby's in trouble.
Yeah, Trimby with a killer instinct from Elk, threatening his life. Does stay alive for now, but the Mega Inferno Bomb will remedy that real fast. Miru tries to finish the job, but the only thing finished is his time on Summoner's Rift. 50-second death timer here for the mid laner from VKS as a 5v3 for BLG is looking like the end of this game. Shadow throws out the pillar, Chains of Corruption, Pop Blossom on 3. Ben gets the kill, Morteos is already down. Disamas trying to fight back, but he can't even kill on. Boal stuck on the steps of the fountain, watching the last remnants of his base get destroyed. BLG bulldoze game 1.
This mid laner that just works so well with aggressive junglers.
And the thing is, remember that with LeBlanc's dash, the dash in is a movement skill. It is a dash forward, so trying to go over to Leah's Unraveled Earth is going to stun you. You get that Kainic Rookern completed. Once you have the Magic Shield, the trades become much more manageable as BLG have started up the first Drake of the game. Trimby, Morteos, and Disamas all around. Even levels here for everybody except +1 level for the AD carry roll on VKS as now Miru's ready to ride the wall straight in. Shadow under pressure a little bit here. They want the kill on the BLG jungler, but it's first blood over to Knight instead. Disamas has to try to get away. Bin arrives with a teleport and the equalizer lays out the red carpet. Disamas is welcomed straight to the spawn platform. One more auto attack takes him down. BLG have already secured 2. Shadow getting away just barely. Trimby with a flash in to finish off the kill, and he gets back through a magical journey over the wall to stay alive himself. So VKS get one back, but BLG wins the fight at the cost of Bin's teleport.
Carries HP or your supports or whoever's, and then you're like, well, now you can't fight anymore. Sucks to suck. And that's why she's such an obnoxious champion and difficult to lock down, and that's why hard CC is super important for her. And in this composition, there really isn't a lot. So Right now, the Grubs have started off.
Yep, Shadow's going to go ahead and secure that first grub for BLG, but it's VKS moving into the river now as BLG decide one is enough.
Exactly. You see that Elk was not roaming, and Miru moved from bot, so that is why BLG do back off after this one play. But the problem is there's no TPs up here for VKS, so great, you got 2 grubs, but look what's happening bot lane. You're dropping waves, you're going to lose at least 1 tower play here.
Live as we're about to crest the 10-minute mark here, so not a lot of importance placed on that one after the first fight that was over
tower.
As Elk, he does get himself caught up inside that Tempered Fate, tries to Valk away, but the Cyclone interrupts it. That Elk just got hunted. Morteos is the one holding the smoking gun, and VKS get everybody away. They take the kill. On in the enemy jungle, placing down some vision, just making sure he maintains control over this area. Nobody from VKS can step up, and that's BLG securing their first Drake. Very late first Drake this game, 11 minutes in.
It's the jungle support duo. To me, that was kind of the biggest difference in the last game, how they played together. They're TPing in Miru. They're going to see if they can do something. Yeah,
looks like Disamis has to try to get all the way out here. Defensive Cyclone wants to re-engage there onto Shadow. Seismic shove collides with On. He's down to about 20% HP, and On's turned off. Nice moves from VKS, fighting him off to secure the feat of warfare.
Themselves 3 kills, but BLG's not done yet.
Yeah, Shadow wants to step forward, but he's chunked to half HP. Trimby continuing to get away as Miru rides the Weaver's Wall in, but it knocks Shadow onto the wrong side, so he's still safe, and now Miru's gonna be your target. Just completely exploded, but still alive for an extra second. Knight takes him out with the Sigil of Malice. It's a double kill now as Disamis falls too. The LeBlanc is getting fed, and VKS needs to run. Ben's here to cook him up. Triple kill over to Knight. The LeBlanc gets a quadra. 15 minutes into the game.
Eyes, a traditional Knight staple.
Yep.
And I mean, there's no reason.
Yeah, this could be. Look at the damage on Disamis. Knight just needs one more spell. Sigil of Malice, one more. Auto. There it is. Knight is dominating. 6-0-1 on this LeBlanc. 4 more pages added to the book. This is beyond a problem at this point. His individual gold lead is 2.1 thousand gold. He's waiting over the wall. He sees Morteos, wants to go in. Spell Shield's going to at least keep the Sivir healthy for now as Knight moves back up to join the rest of his team. The Rift Herald was already secured off screen by Shadow. And we're talking all this about Knight. Elk is still very strong himself here on the Corki. The binding was already used there from Trimby. On jumps in to try to help Knight's dive. Not quite enough damage to kill either one of the VKS bottom laners, but they have plenty of firepower to take down the tier 1 turret. And
you called LeBlanc a poke champ, and he's poking pretty hard.
That he is.
The poke is 100% of your HP.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty dire out here for the side of VKS. Knight is still the vast majority of his team's gold lead, however, so if they can kill him, it will be huge. Knight now in some danger, down to 10% HP. Boal misses the third in Tofo strike as Miru rides the wall forward. Trimby is waiting. They give the shutdown over to Boal, and Knight, playing too far into the faces of VKS, gets punished. The gold lead now down below 1,000, but VKS has overstayed. BLG's reinforcements arrive, and Trimby is immediately destroyed. Shadow sidesteps away from the seismic shove. Miru now in a little bit of danger. He no longer has the unraveled earth. Shadow defending himself with the ulti for now. Disamis spinning into the back line. Shadow is already down. VKS coming to life as Elk is grounded, and Miru takes a triple kill to tie up the goal.
A TP back into the river as BLG is not done yet.
Finn is looking for Morteos, who was pushing for that mid tower. He got it. They're going to TP in to defend him, though. Miru's coming, but so is Knight.
Morteos already uses the spell shield to block the first Electro Harpoon. Second one tags him. Finn finding a decent amount of damage here, but Miru is first to arrive. Knight wants to kill the enemy AD carry. Miru dies. Finn is traded. Knight looking for a little bit more, but now he's in danger. He dodges away from the Tempered Fate with Distortion. Trimby continuing to chase, but there's nobody else left to chase with him. To guarantee that he doesn't get caught by anything. Knight over the wall looking for a quick trade. Won't find it, as it looks like VKS are ready to start up the objective. They are daring BLG to come and stop them. Shadow immediately dropping the ulti here. Knight goes for some quick burst. Doesn't find a ton. Trimby only tagged with a Sigil of Malice, but no detonation here just yet. Morteos using the spell shield. On looking for maybe a flank here from the other side. Miru with a very nice Weaver's Wall to prevent any approach from BLG, and VKS just navigated the dragon fight better. Disamas also had a very large purchase when he went back. Sadly, not enough to complete his second full item, so still an advantage there for BLG and for Shadow.
But notice the moment that Boal arrives, just as Azael was saying, space gathered. He is just a man that is not afraid to face check this LeBlanc. He tanks up all the damage. They pop the ult.
Okay, they're on the hunt. BLG have to try to disengage this now, as immediately they seismic shove Shadow back. Disama's going in for the Cyclone. They want to look after Elk. Shadow has to flash away. Redemption coming in for the side of VKS. Nobody dead on BLG. Miru throws himself into the back line, but Disamas is already down. Knight with an assassination. VKS, they took out the enemy Rumble, but they lost their jungler, so there's no chance to go for the Otacon. The Otacon dropping decently quickly,
flash
though.
Elk.
It's already down to about 1/3 HP. The rest of VKS isn't here yet. The Otacon's down to 4K. Does Trimby have the ultimate to try to stall this out? The Otacon's already going to be taken. Shadow secures it, and now BLG are looking to turn and maybe fight. On is the target here at the very start. Redemption coming in to heal him up. Boal still here on the front line. Shadow, defensive ulti, trying to buy a little bit of time. He has to know that he's dead here, so he's just going to create some room.
Look at Knight,
for the
though.
rest
They're
of the team to get
low.
away.
Morteos
over the wall. Morteos just barely staying alive there as Knight jumps over the wall and nearly assassinates him to go ahead and start this dragon. Nobody from VKS is close enough to try to stop it, so that's objective, BLG.
Yeah, VKS are just going to show up, but this is kind of the worst of those types of contests. When you show up late, you don't even have any opportunity to get involved there either. Knight is looking to put some pressure on this tower. VKS want to push on the other side, but Equalizer answers that so easily. So Knight is just going to be able to get a free tower.
Now Morteo's in a lot of danger. He's exhausted, but the rest of the team shows up to immediately back him up. The Redemption to heal him. The exhaust does not do enough. And now VKS are looking to grab a little bit more.
And Morteos, does pick up the null magic mantle here. Honestly, I would have preferred to see him just go lifesteal, just go Bloodthirster. You're not getting 100 to 0. It's about the chip. You need to be able to heal back up to be able to stay active in these fights. BLG 2-minning the Baron right now, but Boal taking space. Knight looking over the wall.
Boal here in the front line. Knight looking at the back line. Disamas goes in for the Cyclone, knocks up a couple of them. Elk and on off to the side as Boal goes in after Bin. Tries to go all out, but it's Boal in the middle of 3 different people. He's going to be locked up here with a Tempered Fate to buy him a little bit of extra time. As On's going to be taken down by the rest of VKS off to the left here at the same time. Elk takes Trimby out of the picture as Boal finally dies. BLG find a 2-for-1 so far. Knight jumps over the wall. Miru fighting back. He throws another rock. Miru is low. Bin wants to go in. It's double golden statues. Bin is about to die. Knight is about to go with them. Morteos gets back over the wall as Elk takes him out. As now he has to try to get away. Disamas with one last auto attack. There are 8 dead bodies on Summoner's Rift.
2 people running all the way to the left, chasing down the support. The target focus needed to be there for VKS because the mobility from BLG allowed them to win out on these smaller 2v2s, 3v3 skirmishes. A flash in from Bin, knowing that he has the support.
That's a strong position for so long, but it's Elk now with the IE. He had completed the Collector already. VKS, though, nicely done to be able to just steal this dragon away. I thought that was going to be BLG's for sure with the Baron buff.
He will continue making some distance. And it's not like he's only magic resist, right? Of course, he does have Mercury Treads. Kanik Rookern was the first item, but you've got the Jack Show in this game now on that Corki, who is, 1 item away from full build himself.
Yeah, and Miru is very far up. I mean, he's just there. He's going to get picked.
Yeah, Miru slammed into the wall. He tries to go for a little bit of Gromp gaming. He flashes even, trying to get away. A potential massive mistake from Miru.
Had no vision around whatsoever. And it's an easy pick there for Bin and On. They do take him down. And now BLG are pressing. They take down that tier 2 mid. No one is answering this whatsoever. And if that gets cracked, then all of a sudden this wave clear matters a lot less.
Yeah, that tier 3 turret is about to fall. One more auto attack will take it. VKS keeps it alive for now. Knight jumping in over the wall, tries to find some quick damage. Yeah, the backdoor protection pops up, but it doesn't matter. It's already so low. Miru's mistake costs gravely for VKS as BLG take the opportunity here with a 5v4 to force down the mid lane inhibitor turret, the inhibitor right behind it, and finally break into the base. Tempered Fate catches Ben on the very edge. Trimby trying to bind him into the wall, but he doesn't have the distance now. The equalizer here for the counter attack. Knight looking for the back line. Keeper's verdict. Inject attacks Boal. Morteos under pressure. BLG looking to go all the way in as
Nice!
ends up trying to get away. Morteos barely hanging on, but Desamas is down. Knight kills him off. BLG still looking for even more. Morteos barely hanging on, and that might be the difference. And Knight wants even more than that. This LeBlanc, this 900 AP, 25 Magi stacks carry is such a threat.
He really is. So many flashes spent across the board there, though, as that just seemed like a very disjointed fight for VKS. It's Morteos!
Morteos! He's gonna die to the chain! Knight with the pick! We've talked about it all game long. If you lose track of him, you are dead. And Knight will sign the death warrant for the Brazilian AD carry.
A beautiful game from Knight as he has continued to help BLG throughout this game.
So it is a very big gold lead, but you look over at the other side, Morteos almost feel built as well.
Against BLG in this second one, but BLG are looking to tighten their hold on this game. The Weaver's Wall flies in. It's on, the only one trapped on the other side of it. He channels the Keeper's verdict. Tempered Fate locks him up. Equalizer over the top of everybody here on VKS. The redemption coming in. Trimby tries to heal up as Shadow dives in. Trimby's already down. Defensive ulti coming out from Desamas, but the tier 3 turret is erased from the rift. Boal, the only thing that BLG can target from here. Shadow healed up by redemption himself. BLG have broken a second inhibitor now in the bottom lane.
The mid wave is being escorted in by Knight. That's 2 waves hitting onto these Nexus towers. Baron empowered, only 4 members left from VKS.
BLG looking for their game-ending push, but Elk is going to be caught out a little bit by the seismic shove. He has to get back. The barrier keeps him alive. Shadow also at death's door. 100 HP here on the enemy jungler. Knight tries to jump into the back. Guardian Angel ready to bring Shadow back to life as the Pathmaker into the seismic shove. Kills him yet again. Morteos takes the kill credit, and VKS, despite their base being in shambles, 2 inhibitors down, 1 Nexus turret gone, they are still alive.
They keep their Nexus alive.
I mean, it's such a problem when you look at some of these last fights. Is On gonna get caught?
Yeah, On hit by the seismic shove into the unraveled earth. They commit the Cyclone for it. Desamas trying to look for a little bit more. Knight knocked up by the Cyclone. Slam back into the wall. Tries to distort over. Shut down by Miru. VKS picked the enemy mid laner in support. Now they're riding into the mid lane. They want to look after Shadow as well. And a massive wave in the bottom lane at the same time.
The pink
Boal
spot
is going bottom to try to stop it. VKS continuing their push. It's Shadow and Elk trying to defend this. Ben coming around here from the side as well. Drops the equalizer defensively. Shadow going in after Miru with the redemption. Keeps the VKS mid laner alive. The push from VKS stopped for
That's
now.
a TP
TP coming in from Boal, but Ben's going to TP into the enemy base. Ben wants to end the game. Boal's teleport has left the base vulnerable. Now Ben joins up with the super minions. The defense has to be mounted. Miru's the only one who can try to TP. He's
got no health,
but he has no health. Miru going golden, trying to survive as Shadow and Elk distract, and Ben will end the game at the Nexus. VKS fought well, but not well enough. BLG move on.
so close for VKS.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.